prescribed a bunch of sleep medications. But you actually talked to me. More importantly, you listened. And that's how I realized the reason I couldn't sleep was that I was missing Mr. Whiskers so much since he passed on 6 months ago. Oh, cats. Now it all makes sense. I'm so glad I could help. She smiles tearfully. And that's why after talking to you, I went out and got a brand new kitten. Ever since I took home Mr. Fluffy, I have been sleeping like a log. It's all because of you. Because you took the time to listen. What can I say? As a medical student, I don't have much knowledge, but I have lots of time to spend with patients. And it's a good thing, because Mrs. Pritchett proceeds to show me about 5 billion Polaroid photos of her brand new kitten. Also, she says when we finish looking at the photos, I got you a thank you gift. A thank you gift? Seriously? Wow, this is the most exciting thing that's happened to me in about 2 years. However, some of my excitement wanes when Mrs. Pritchett stands up from her chair. And I would say it vanishes entirely when she grabs a giant painting that I hadn't realized was in the back of the exam room. The picture had been turned to face away from us, but now I can see it clearly. It's a portrait of a cat. It is almost as big as I am. This is a painting I had commissioned of Mr. Whiskers, Mrs. Pritchett says proudly. And I would like you to have it. Oh, I say. Thank you. A black cat is prominently featured in the giant portrait. Clearly this is larger than life, unless Mr. Whiskers was a tall cat or perhaps a small one. Does he look so angry in the painting? Doesn't it look realistic? Mrs. Pritchett says. Yes, he truly looks like he is about to leap out of the painting and maul me. I love the painting out of the exam room, unsure where I am going to put this thing in my tiny little apartment. For now, I leave it in the hallway. Dr. Sleepy is working in the office next door to where I had been sitting with Mrs. Pritchett. This other office has a desk and a computer set up on top of it, and Dr. Sleepy is tapping away at the keys when I rap my fist against the open door. When he looks up at me, he pushes his half-moon reading glasses up the bridge of his nose and gives me one of his mild smiles. Hello, Amy. Dr. Sleepy always speaks in a calm voice that is close to a monotone. I'm pretty sure he could lull most of his patients to sleep with just his voice. They probably leave the appointment and immediately drift off in their cars, possibly while driving. Are you ready? Yes, I say. Well then, tell me about Mrs. Pritchett. I go through the information about Mrs. Pritchett. Dr. Sleepy takes it all in quietly, making slight grunts at appropriate moments. I mention the cat portrait, hoping he might offer to take it off my hands, but no such luck. Anyway, I say, that's all. Dr. Sleepy rubs his white goatee thoughtfully. And how are you doing, Amy? You don't look like you've been sleeping very well either. He's right. I didn't sleep well last night. I'm sure I have massive bags under my eyes. I'm just a little nervous because I'm rotating on that tonight. Ah, that makes sense. Disturbed to be by the fact that he thinks it's normal that I have spent half the night awake worrying about my overnight call on the locked psych unit. It can be challenging on Ward D, but I think you'll learn a tremendous amount tonight. Who is your attending? Dr. Beck. He nods in approval. One of the finest psychiatrists I've known, and an excellent teacher.